What's up, YouTube? Fred here. I've got a real treat for you guys today. Today's Sunday drive is on one of the sort of hidden gems of New Hampshire, and it's called Hurricane Mountain Road. If you haven't heard of it, it's one of the roads in New Hampshire that has both the most elevation changes for its length, as well as the most number of turns. I don't know if officially it has the highest number of turns, but I've heard people say that for the 5 or so miles that the road is, that it has more turns than any other road in New England. Don't know if that's true or not, but it's a absolute riot of a road. So you'll notice that I'm in the Mini, and that in my last video I alluded to that I couldn't take the Corvette on this road. The reason I can't take the Corvette on this road is that it is too wide for the road and it is too low for that road. You would scrape in a normal sedan in some of the spots, and the car is so wide that the fact that there are parts of the road where it's only a lane and a half wide, you really can't take anything wide or super low. So I took the Mini up here specifically so I could do this road. I haven't driven it in about 2 years myself, maybe 3 years. I used to do it on a motorcycle all the time. But then once I got the Corvette and sold the bike, I didn't have a way to do it, and I wasn't going to risk taking the car and damaging it. Last year I did ride in a WRX, but I wasn't driving. I had driven up here with some friends, took the Corvette. There were a bunch of us, and I was a little bit worried about scraping, so I ended up leaving the car in a parking lot, and we went down the road. So it was interesting to ride as a passenger, but this time I'm going to be the driver. So let's go. So if you're not familiar with Hurricane Mountain Road, let me cover a couple quick facts or interesting things about it. One, they close it in the winter, just like Bear Notch Road that I went on in my last video. This road gets closed. They have a highway gate, and I believe it opens up for snowmobiles in the winter, but even though it's paved, it's closed. They don't plow it. It's too much elevation change, too much winding for a plow truck to even make it up it. Even if there wasn't snow, it might be a real challenge in a big vehicle. As I mentioned, the Corvette's too wide, so a full-size like road crew truck or plow truck, I don't even know if it could do it. The other thing that's really interesting is that this road basically cuts over a mountain ridge. It's a series of kind of switchbacks and real tight turns that go up over a mountain ridge and then come down on the other side, and so you get very steep elevation. I want to say it's like 11 or 13 degree slope up and down on the relative sides, and it's super hilly. It's pretty bumpy. You want something with a little bit of suspension travel if you're going to go on it. So without further ado, let's do it. All right, you're going to notice some signs here. This says road not suitable for large vehicles or RVs, gate ahead, road not maintained for winter travel, gate ahead, steep winding road. Basically all the things you want as a driver. And here we go, we're on it. So it starts off pretty mellow, a little narrow, but nothing crazy. But right away, that's not wide enough for 2 cars to pass. I also should mention this is the first time I've ever driven it in the Mini, so I'm seeing how the car does on it. I don't think I'm going to get out of third gear. I'm probably going to spend most of my time in second on the tight spots. One neat thing about this road is, so I'm starting in New Hampshire. When you get to the far end, if you were to just go straight, it comes to a T intersection. If you were to go straight, it's, I believe, less than a mile with the border of Maine. So we're kind of as east as you can go up in kind of mid New Hampshire right now, mid to northern. But look at this, winding and hilly. I mean, this is so cool. I've done it in a sedan before, and I've done it in some larger vehicles, and I've actually gone on it with some friends, and they got nauseous being in a car where they couldn't see very well out of it. So this is certainly not a road for the faint of heart. Definitely not a road you want to go fast your first time, and even you really can't go fast. I'm going 22 miles an hour right now, and I don't think I could go any faster without being a little too dangerous. Look at this. Oh, the front of the car is like 3 feet higher than the back of the car right now. Huh. This is crazy. So far the car is handling it like a champ. They've got new pavement on it. One of my friends was saying that, Travis, shout out to him, he was saying that it just got paved, and he was right. This looks beautiful compared to the last time. Lots of potholes and frost heave and cracked pavement. This is a lot nicer. Oh boy, look at this. I mean, this is challenging even just to drive at a normal pace, and I think there are a few spots where the speed limit actually feels too fast. So you really just gotta kind of play it to your comfort level and just be safe on it. Safe's the number one thing. You don't want to go super fast. I will say this is a lot easier on a bike because you have a little bit more room to play around. Even in this small car, I am fully filling my half of the lane. It's only about 1.5 lanes wide for pretty much the whole thing. And this car is that width of my side. So if you encounter a large vehicle, you're going to be right over to that edge. And there are several spots where it's like a 100-foot drop on the other side. So you really got to be careful and alert. Woo! You get that falling feeling when you crest some of these hills. Whoa. This is something else. Now, interestingly, there's a campground at the top of the mountain that you're crossing. So we're basically at the halfway point. Just up here on the right is a campground. I know it's pretty popular in the summer. Black Cat Mountain Trailhead. So we must be on Black Cat Mountain. I didn't realize that. 17% grade, that said. So if you weren't sure how steep this was, that's pretty darn steep. I don't know that I've seen a steeper sign on any road I've driven. Wow, this is pretty intense. You definitely want a mechanically sound vehicle. Oh, great view. Just a little bit of a view. I think I was seeing Silver Lake off in the distance. As I was saying, you definitely want a mechanically sound vehicle when you go down this or up it. Whoa! Because this is very demanding on your vehicle, and you don't want to take chances of anything rattling loose or shaking loose. Whoa! That is fun. Wow, you definitely get that falling feeling when you crest some of these hills. Now, the nice part of going early morning like I am and going during the pandemic is there's nobody out here. I'll be lucky if I encounter more than a couple cars. I think I've only gone by one so far, which is nice because then you can just focus on the road and not have to worry about the traffic. Though certainly I'm scanning ahead as far as I can see because I need to plan for it. There are spots where it's too narrow to pass, going the other way, so you need to plan for that. Ho, on the brakes, downshift. Look at this. This is one of those narrow spots. Try to stay over to my side, but you can crowd the middle a little bit when you can see way far ahead, just to be a little safer so you don't slip off. I am going 30 miles an hour right now, and that feels like lightning fast. I've seen videos online of people going like 40, 50, 60 on here at various stretches. I don't think you could do that for the whole thing. And I don't know how you maintain control at those speeds, especially when you don't control if there's stuff coming the other way. This is a popular road for people to bike. I don't know why you would, but they want a challenge, I guess. So, I mean, interesting to watch, but certainly not what I want to do. I want to have fun, but be safe. And we're coming down kind of the last stretch here. It's not a long road. It's only, I think, 5 miles. But man, those 5 miles are packed. This is sort of like a high elevation or a lot of elevation change version of the Dragon down in North Carolina. Maybe not as many turns and not as dramatic turns, but this is like a constant. You're turning. You're not going straight for more than a few hundred feet at any point. Whoa, my ears just popped. So we're definitely using that 17-degree slope for elevation change. Oh man, this is great. Hang on. Woo! Holy cow. Oh, man, that was nuts. It like just dropped off. It was like a step down in motocross. And we're at the end of the road.